During the summer of 2021, 22-year-old Gabby Petito was living her dream by journeying throughout the United States in a van with her fiancé, capturing and sharing each part of their adventure on the internet. However, what appeared to be an easygoing trip soon turned into a terrifying experience that would captivate the entire country. But why? Because Gabby would disappear under mysterious circumstances, and days later, her body was found in a remote area of Wyoming. How could a young woman on the trip of a lifetime meet such a tragic end? What really happened during those final days on the road? And more disturbingly, could the person she trusted most be involved in her fate? So, grab yourself a cup of courage as we explore the chilling case of Gabby Petito, a journey that began as a dream and turned into a dark mystery filled with heartbreak, unanswered questions, and a search for justice. But before that, this channel is all about true crime, brutal stories, and chilling mysteries. So if that is something that interests you, please consider subscribing to support us so you can doomscroll crime every week. The woman who seems to be always smiling, especially when traveling and exploring the world, is Gabby Petito. But who wanted her dead, and what happened during those final days? Let's take a closer look, but first, get to know about Gabby Petito. Gabrielle Venora Petito, born on March 19, 1999, in Blue Point, New York, and was the oldest of the 6 siblings. During her youth, she joined her stepbrothers in a music video to bring attention to gun violence following the tragic 2013 Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. Following her graduation from Bayport Blue Point High School in 2017, Gabby moved to Carolina Beach, North Carolina. There, she worked in different restaurants. In March 2019, Gabby and Brian Laundrie started dating, and soon after, they moved to Northport, Florida to live with his family. The two then started working at a nearby Publix grocery store, however. With the start of COVID-19, they had to quit their jobs, and instead, they went on a daring cross-country journey from New York to California, with Gabby celebrating her 21st birthday in Nokomis, Florida, and by July 2020, the two were already planning to get married. Gabby talked about her experiences, from art and yoga to a love for wellness, on social media platforms such as YouTube and Instagram. In December 2020, Gabby, because of her love for travel, bought a 2012 Ford Transit Connect van and turned it into a camper. To collect money for this trip, she worked at Taco Bell and as a nutritionist, while Laundrie was employed at an organic juice bar. The couple left New York in July 2021 for what was supposed to be a 4-month cross-country trip, visiting and camping in national parks. However, little did they know that this would be their last trip together. On August 12, 2021, a bystander called 911 to alert authorities about a quarrel between a pair, later recognized as Laundrie and Petito, occurring outside the Moonflower Community Cooperative in Moab, Utah. The person who made the call reported witnessing a man hitting a woman, and then both individuals ran back and forth on the sidewalk. The man proceeded to hit the woman once more before the two of them left in a car. Another bystander told the authorities that Petito and Laundrie appeared to be engaging in a heated conversation, with Petito hitting him in the arm. The witness stated that it appeared as though Laundrie was attempting to abandon Petito and bring her phone with him. Before they left in the car, she got into the driver's seat, shifted to the passenger's side for him to drive, and questioned, "Why do you have to be so mean?" Officers from MCPD noticed a van driving in a disorderly manner by the entrance to Arches National Park and proceeded to pull it over. Petito was discovered sobbing intensely in the front seat of the vehicle.
Gabby is visibly shaken.
You want to tell me what's coming?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just some days I have really bad OCD, and
Okay.
I was just cleaning and straightening up the back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, "I'm sorry that I'm so mean," and I'm trying to start a blog.
Okay.
Have a blog and stuff. So I've been building my website. So I've just been really stressed, and he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it. So that's kind of been like I don't know. He's like down there. I don't know. We've been fighting all morning, and he wouldn't let me in the car before. And then
Why wouldn't he let you in the car? Because of your OCD?
Told me I needed to calm down.
Yeah, I know. So, tell me what's going on. You see, this gets worked up sometimes, and I try and really distance myself from her. So, like, I locked the car and I walked away from her.
Brian tells police that Gabby attacked him, scratching his face and his arm as she tried to get back into the van.
She had her phone and was trying to get the police. I got away. I was just trying to. I know I shouldn't push, but I was just trying to push her way to go. Let's just take a minute, step back, and breathe. And we see she got me with her phone.
People that came to us and told us that they saw him hit you.
Another officer asked Gabby for more details about what happened.
Well, to be honest, I definitely hit him first.
Where'd you hit him?
I slapped him.
You slapped him first, and then just on his
Can
face?
you get to me to shut up?
How many times did you slap
Bravo,
him?
Romeo, India, Alpha.
Just a couple.
And then what? And then his reaction was to do what?
Okay, I hung around so I wouldn't slap him.
He just grabbed you?
Yeah.
Did he hit you though? I mean, it's okay if you're saying you hit him, and then I understand if he hit you, but we want to know the truth if he actually hit you.
I guess, yeah, but I hit him first.
Where did he hit you? Don't worry, just be honest.
He grabbed my face. It's like, I guess. He didn't hit me in the face. Like, he didn't punch me in the face or anything.
Did he slap your face or what?
Well, he grabbed me with his nail, and I guess that's why it looks. I definitely have a cut right here, because I could feel it.
Yeah.
When I touch it, it burns.
The officers never directly asked Brian if he slapped or hit Gabby. They also didn't talk to the 911 caller who reported seeing Brian hit Gabby. But one of the officers did speak with a second eyewitness that day.
The witness says, I never saw him hit her. I saw him shove her, but I couldn't tell if it was an aggression against her or a defense against her. So at this point, unless the guy's screaming that he needs to go to jail and did something to this girl, it sounds to me like she is the primary aggressor.
Yeah.
In Utah, if officers find evidence of a domestic violence assault, they are required to make an arrest or issue a citation. An independent investigation would later conclude that the officers did not have a clear understanding of the law.
Gabby, this is a very, very important question. How you answer this question is going to determine what happens next. But the only person who can answer this question is you.
They mistakenly believed that Gabby had to intend to harm Brian to require an arrest.
When you slapped him those times, were you attempting to cause him physical pain or physical impairment? Was that what you were attempting to do to him?
No.
What were you attempting to do? What was the reason behind the slapping and stuff? What was it you were attempting to accomplish by slapping?
I was trying to get him to stop telling me about it.
Well, it doesn't sound to me like she attempted to injure him.
Ultimately, officers on the scene decided to separate the couple for the night.
I'm going to give you the keys to the van.
Gabby was told to stay with the van.
I'm giving him a ride over to the hotel.
Petito first downplayed the physical altercation. After the officer pointed out marks on her arm and face and told her to just be honest, she said that Laundry kept telling me to shut up and grabbed my face, which had caused an injury. Petito told the officer that she hit Laundry first and asked the officers to not separate them. In his report, one of the officers wrote, "At no point in my investigation did Gabrielle stop crying, breathing heavily, or compose a sentence without needing to wipe away tears, wipe her nose, or rub her knees with her hands." The male tried to create distance by telling Gabby to take a walk to calm down. She did not want to be separated from the male and began slapping him. He grabbed her face and pushed her back as she pressed upon him and the van. Neither Petito nor Laundry wanted to press charges as a result of the incident, rather told the police that they were in love, engaged to be married, and desperately didn't wish to see anyone charged with a crime. According to the police report, Laundry told an officer that issues between the two had been building over the last few days, so the police considered it a mental breakdown rather than domestic violence, which would have required an arrest. The police separated the couple, arranging for Laundry to spend a night at the Bowen Motel in Moab, and for Petito to stay in the van. On August 19th, the pair uploaded an 8-minute video on YouTube titled "Van Life: Beginning Our Van Life Journey." It showed them kissing, climbing rocks, and joking about the melted chocolate in Laundry's granola because of Utah's sun. "I love the van," Petito said, smiling at Laundry.
She was excited to keep going on her journey, and that was the last time I spoke to her verbally.
Petito's parents mentioned that they had their last conversation with her over a FaceTime call between August 23rd and 24th. Her father said that Petito told them that she and Laundry were departing Utah to drive to Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming, and she sent her mother a few texts following that. The most recent post on her Instagram account was shared on August 25th. A CCTV recording filmed at a Whole Foods store in Jackson, Wyoming, captured Petito and Laundry on August 27th. They reached the parking area at 2:11 p.m., went into the shop at 2:14 p.m., left at 2:30 p.m., and returned to the van. Approximately 20 minutes later, they left in the van and headed towards Highway 89, the northern route to the Bridger-Teton National Forest campsite, arriving at 2:56 p.m. This was the last time Petito was officially seen alive. Witnesses' reports of the couple afterwards were as follows. One witness reported seeing Laundry and Petito together at the Mary Piglet's Tex-Mex restaurant in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, on August 27th between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. According to the witness, Laundry was described as aggressive and got into a dispute, seemingly about money, with the manager, waitress, and hostess. The witness mentioned that she saw Petito come back to the restaurant later in tears and asking for forgiveness for Laundry's actions. Another individual reached out to the FBI to provide information about a slow-moving white van and a generic young white man acting weird near the Spread Creek dispersed camping area on August 26th, 27, and potentially 28. She uploaded a TikTok video discussing her findings. As per the witness, an FBI agent mentioned that her account tipped the FBI off to the accurate whereabouts of Petito's remains.
To clarify a few things that people are confused on still, when he asked to ride, he has to go to Jackson, which if you're familiar with this area, a lot of people call Jackson Hole Jackson. So that's why I said yes to giving him a ride. But you think any good hiker would know south and north. We were going south out of the park when he said he was camping north. He had told us that him and Gabby were not camping on a regulated campsite through the national park, that they were camping basically out in the middle of nowhere along Snake River. This is key information. He said that he had hiked for days along Snake River, but when looking at his backpack, it wasn't full, and he said all he had was a tarp to sleep on, which you think if you're going camping for days on end, you'd want food and a tent, and he had none of that. And like I said, he looked clean and didn't smell bad.
So this is a view of the whole journey with Brian. So that's the top at the park at Coulter Bay, and then we drove him to this dam right here. Then at the dam, we dropped him off at this little turnout, and he said he was going to walk across the street to the parking lot, which was full of people, to continue hitchhiking and look for a ride, because he freaked out when I said Jackson Hole. He said we needed to pull over, even though Jackson and Jackson Hole are the same thing. It's the same town itself. This is the text I sent to my mom at 6:09, right when he got out of the car, saying I was okay because she was freaking out. This is at the park, or at the pickup location, and we were taking a shower. We then walked across, and our car was parked on the left side of the picture, and he talked to us right in the middle. And he was talking to my boyfriend the entire time, but I was the one actually talking, and he was not frantic, and he was very nice, very polite to us.
Hi, my name is Miranda Baker, and on August 29th, my boyfriend and I picked up Brian at Grand Teton National Park at 5:30 at night at Coulter Bay. I'm hoping this can help someone identify him, because I saw him from TikTok, which then made me call the authorities, and my boyfriend and I have been in contact with a bunch of different people to help piece together different parts of this case. But we picked him up at Coulter Bay, like I said, at 5:30. He approached us asking us for a ride because he needed to go to Jackson, which we were going to Jackson that night. So I said, hop in. He hops in the back of my Jeep. We then, proceeded to make small talk. But before he came in the car, he offered to pay us like $200 to give him a ride, like 10 miles. So that was kind of weird. He then told us he's been camping for multiple days without his fiance. He did say he had a fiance, and that she was working on their social media page back at their van. Then once, like, in conversation, I brought up, yep, like, we're going to Jackson. He freaked out. He's like, nope, I need to get out right now. Like, pull over. So we pulled over at the Jackson Dam, which I don't know if you know, like, Teton Park, but it's not very far from Coulter Bay. And if this does, like, reach people, I can post pictures of, exactly where we were. We picked him up and the whole route or whatever, and like screenshots of like the timestamps. We dropped him off at 6:09 p.m. on August 29th. He kind of like hurried out of the car, and then he's like, okay, I'm just gonna go find someone else to, hitchhike. And we're like, okay. It was a weird situation. So when we picked him up, he was wearing a backpack, he had a long sleeve pants, hiking boots, and he had like scruff, but he didn't look dirty. For someone who was camping for multiple days, like, he didn't look dirty, he didn't smell dirty, so that part was kind of weird. And I'm just really hoping that they find her, and this helps someone like remember seeing him, or something like that.
A woman mentioned giving Laundrie a ride on August 29th near Coulter Bay Village while he was hitchhiking solo. She stated that Laundrie freaked out when he found out they were going to Jackson Hole instead of Jackson, Wyoming, exiting the vehicle at 6:09 p.m., close to the Jackson Lake Dam. The witness thought it was strange that Laundrie offered $200 for the ride and did not seem dirty, even though he said he had been camping for days. A different witness mentioned that she gave Laundrie a ride from the Jackson Lake Dam region around 6:20 to 6:30 p.m. on August 29th, leaving him at the entrance to the Spread Creek dispersed camping area. Laundrie offered gas money for the 20-minute trip, but insisted on being dropped off only at the campground entrance, which was several miles away from the van. As per the witness, Laundrie appeared antsy to exit the vehicle as they neared the campsite. On August 27th, a text from Petito's phone was sent to her mother, which read, "Can you help Stan? I just keep getting his voicemails and missed calls." The message was surprising for Petito's mother, who said that Stan was Petito's grandfather and that she never called him by his first name. The last message, sent on August 30th, simply said, "No service in Yosemite." Her mother knew something was wrong.
The text I received from her phone was August 30th.
Are you confident that was from her, or you're not sure?
I can't comment on that.
On August 29th, Laundrie called his mother, and as their conversation was brought to the end, his tone completely changed. After that, Laundrie's father contacted him back, and Laundrie told him that Gabby's gone and that he may need a lawyer. Laundrie returned to his house in Northport, Florida in the white Ford van that the couple had used for the trip, and that had been registered to Petito. He was alone. On September 6th and 7th, he and his parents went camping at Fort DeSoto Park in Pinellas County.
10th that I decided to call police because I had had 10 days, 10, almost 11 days was enough for me to not hear from my child. And I got the runaround. Nobody wanted to report her missing. She's an adult, she's traveling. But as a mother, I said, it's not like her. Finally, that Saturday, I went personally to Suffolk County 5th Precinct, and now this is where we are.
On September 11th, Petito's mother filed a missing person report after not hearing from Petito since late August. Laundrie was identified as a person of interest 4 days later. His parents hired a lawyer who advised them to stay quiet and not discuss the case with anyone. Police surveilled the Laundrie and saw him leave on September 13th. 2 days after that, they observed his car coming back. Authorities suspected that the individual who got out of the car and went into the house was Laundrie. The next day, Todd Garrison, the police chief of Northport, told the press, "All I'm gonna say is we know where Brian Laundrie is at." Laundrie's parents reported him missing on September 17th. After telling his parents on September 14th, that he was going for a hike in the Carlton Reserve. During this time, police discovered that they had confused Laundrie's mother with Laundrie earlier. After obtaining a search warrant, authorities confiscated the Ford Transit Connect, an external hard drive that may contain evidence that a felony has been committed, and the Laundrie family's Ford Mustang from their Northport home. Human remains believed to be Petito's were discovered on September 19th at Spread Creek Dispersed Camping Area in Wyoming, close to where the Ford Transit Connect had been seen before. Her identity was verified, and an autopsy found that the cause of death was homicide due to blunt trauma to the head and neck, along with manual strangulation, and was ruled a homicide, which took place 3 to 4 weeks prior to the discovery of the body. On September 23rd, an arrest warrant and indictment for Laundrie were issued by the U.S. District Court of Wyoming. The charges were connected to Laundrie's unauthorized use of a Capital One debit card and PIN number with the intent to defraud, occurring between August 30th and September 1 in Wyoming and other locations, involving a sum exceeding $1,000. During an interview on October 5th, Brian Laundrie's sister urged him to turn himself in to the authorities. After 2 days, his father participated in the search with investigators to find him. Brian Laundrie's skeletal remains, confirmed through forensic dentistry, were discovered along with some of his personal items on October 20th in the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park, a zone that was previously submerged from flooding. An autopsy was unable to determine the cause of his death. However, on November 23rd, an anthropologist determined Laundrie's cause of death to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Recovered from the bottom of a Florida swamp, the 8-page confession Brian Laundrie scrawled in a notebook after he killed Petito, and also admitted to deceiving people that she was still alive via text messages. In a self-serving confession, he painted Petito's murder as a way to take her pain away, after she fell into a freezing creek in Wyoming and was left badly injured. He claimed that when he pulled her from the water at Spread Creek, she was freezing cold, soaking wet, breathing heavily, and had a bump on her forehead that was growing in size. He tried to carry her to their car, but his knees buckled out of exhaustion and shock, so he started a fire to keep her warm. He then claimed that Petito wouldn't let him leave her side to seek help. Laundrie didn't specify how he killed Petito, but the injuries he claimed she was suffering were inconsistent with Petito's autopsy. Experts believed Laundrie was someone who doesn't want to own up to what he did, and was trying to find justification for the actions he did. He claimed he killed himself, not because of a fear of punishment, but rather because I can't stand to live another day without her, before asking for leniency on behalf of his family, who he immediately ran to after her death. "Please do not make life harder for my family. They lost a son and a daughter," he wrote.
Brian wants something, he's gonna get it. And I don't mean in a physical way, he's gonna force it. He's just gonna... I don't want people to say I'm calling him a full manipulator, but he'll manipulate the situation to get what he wants out of it. And, you know, he didn't want her to go out one night with me, and he stole her ID, because you can't get into the bar without your ID. And, you know, this was really upsetting to her. You know, you're engaged. It's not, you know, it's not supposed to be like that.
Petito's friends later described Laundrie as jealous and controlling, and their relationship as very toxic. He did have jealousy issues, and that was apparent. I mean that you could see right through it after you hang out with them just a few times, said a friend. A letter written by Petito to Laundrie was also released by the FBI, which was among over 300 pages of documents related to the investigation. In the letter, Petito referenced a fight between the couple and alluded to stressors that Laundrie had been experiencing. She also asked him to stop calling her names and telling him she would always have his back. "You know how much I love you, so, and I'm writing this with love. Just please stop crying and stop calling me names because we are a team and I'm here with you," Petito wrote in part. "I'm always going to have your back. I just love you too much, like so much it hurts. So you in pain are killing me. I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm frustrated. There is not more I can do." Brian Laundrie's parents were not accused of any crime in connection with Petito's death, but the Petito family filed their civil case in 2022, alleging that the Laundries had inflicted emotional distress with their actions. They allege that the other family knew Petito to be dead, even while saying publicly that they hoped she would be found, something the Laundries denied.
We believe you know the location of where Brian left Gabby. We beg you to tell us. As a parent, how could you let us go through this pain and not help us?
For the Laundries and Stephen Bertolino to express their hope that Gabrielle Petito was located and reunited with her family at a time when they knew she had been murdered by Brian Laundrie was beyond outrageous, the lawsuit said. During the case, Petitos highlighted a letter written by Brian Laundrie's mother, Roberta, found by investigators. In the note, she told her son, "If you are in jail, I will bake a cake and put a file in it. If you need to dispose of a body, I will show up with a shovel and garbage bags." The words "burn after reading" were written on the envelope.
Which is, if you go to prison, I'll bake a cake with a shiv in it. And by the way, the envelope that the letter came in had written on the front of it, "burn after reading."
The Laundries said the note contained little more than references to Brian Laundrie's favorite childhood books, and was written before the couple set off on their ill-fated trip. But they were unsuccessful in their attempts to have the letter excluded from the case, with Petitos arguing there was a reasonable inference it was written after Gabby Petito was murdered. The two families previously reached a $3 million settlement in a wrongful death lawsuit filed by Petito's parents, which claimed Laundrie was liable for damages because he caused her death. Another lawsuit pursued by Petito's family was a $50 million wrongful death complaint against police in Moab, Utah. Because when the couple at one point got into a fight there were signs of domestic violence, yet the officers allowed them to resume their journey, culminating in the murder-suicide. We saw the police officers intentionally ignoring the facts to intentionally stop them from protecting Gabby from a dangerous man. We firmly believe if the cops did their job correctly, protected Gabby, and offered her the necessary domestic violence resources, she would be alive today, the parents wrote. After her murder, Nicole, along with her husband Jim Schmidt and Gabby's father Joe Petito and Joe's wife Tara, found purpose and healing by using the enormous publicity generated by their daughter's case to try to prevent similar tragedies from happening to other families. The two couples created the Gabby Petito Foundation, which is focused on raising awareness about domestic violence and supports, while also creating tougher laws and policies governing how police respond to reports of intimate partner abuse and missing persons. The foundation is also working towards building a domestic violence awareness education program for schools. The program would be accessible to all students across the country at no cost to the schools. We can only use Gabby's story to continue to help others, and hopefully save the lives of those impacted by the epidemic of domestic violence that plagues our society, they wrote. If we can save even one life, that is one more person saved because of Gabby. Thanks for watching. The heartbreaking loss of Gabby Petito has left an impact. The emotional cross-country search, the troubling signs of control and abuse, and the painful reality of a life cut short. Her story has sparked important conversations about domestic violence and mental health, but the grief and questions remain. As we remember Gabby, let's continue to raise awareness, seek justice, and offer support to those who need it most. If this story impacted you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more detailed dives into true crime mysteries. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time.